Buckle up, my violent friends. We are headed to Serbia for UFC Fight Night. Uros Medic, the Alaskan bullworm, taking on the returning post-prison D-Rod. This is not really the fight we need at welterweight right now, but a violent main event nonetheless. Look, if you don't know Uros Medic, you are a casual, okay? 8 knockouts in the UFC, incredibly violent, kamikaze-style knockout artist. Uros Medic, if you don't know, is basically the hyper-aggro Ian Garry. And if you don't believe me, after I'm done watching a classic Ian Garry avoid-maxing performance, I turn on some Uros Medic, okay? They're just completely different fight styles. Damn, is he marketable. Like, the Uros Medic highlight reel is actually so nasty. Like, if you have Fight Pass, you're eating good. Go look up some Uros Medic. Just KOs on KOs. The uppercut over Tim Means is diabolical. He knocked out Gilbert Urbina, who is a pothead as well. One punch lights out KO, but he got dropped as well in like the first 10 seconds, so this is what I'm saying. Uros Medic plays a very dangerous game. I love me some Uros Medic. Pure violence, baby. I mean, all the talk of the town right now is Ian Garry and his manipulative mistress. They are professional rage baiters. They are absolutely insufferable to listen to. And you already know I can't wait to make videos about them and clown on them on Ian Garry Fight Week, but today we get to talk about Uros Medic. This man is crazy, sick in the head. I love it. Uros Medic known for the hand speed, hunting the chin, and most importantly, kamikaze energy. What I mean by that is he doesn't fear getting knocked out, and that leads to him getting incredible knockouts. Last time out against Jeff Neal, the ultimate snot rocket highlight. I mean, that was absolutely insane. We all know Carlos Prates took Jeff Neal's chin forever. Uros Medic getting those sloppy seconds, but you know, still a dynamite knockout. Not gonna take anything away from him. But who's he fighting? He's fighting no slouch. He's fighting Daniel Rodriguez, who may be perma-baked and, you know, got arrested going over the Mexican border, has been sort of sidelined by a prison stint. Not a good look for a professional athlete. However, I've been a fan of D-Rod for a long time, ever since I watched him technically dismantle and embarrass Kevin Lee in the Apex. I've been a fan ever since, honestly. D-Rod is super slept on because he fights slow, he talks slow, he does everything slow, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know how to throw them hands, okay? D-Rod is very good at Muay Thai. I've got him down as an MMA boxer here. He's got a very crisp jab. Can't wait for this fight. I do think D-Rod is really outgunned on the striking, but one thing that D-Rod has in this fight that people aren't going to talk about is sort of this phantom death touch power. It's not a lot of death touch power, but it is there. I mean, D-Rod basically fell into a brawl with Kevin Holland, who is sort of a goofy goober out there, doesn't really try to win, tries to play the character, play the heel, role-playing as Deadpool, just wants the clicks, just wants the highlights. Anyways, D-Rod in a brawl with Kevin Holland has an uncrackable titanium chin, and D-Rod was dropping him consistently and wobbling him in that fight, so he also just shattered the face of Mike Perry. That is actually kind of a crazy feather in the cap. I mean, Mike Perry is known for his durability in bare-knuckle boxing, and D-Rod has his face turned sideways in 4-ounce gloves. And the Muay Thai was money, so I think we're all gonna feel like such a sucker after we obviously go with Uros Medic because he's 10 times faster than D-Rod, more athletic, just super dangerous, fast twitch, but then D-Rod just, you know, Homer Simpsons his way through it and catches a gassed out Uros Medic. I don't know, man, he's so hyper aggro and ultra violent, he could get high in these rankings. I know a KO win over Jeff Neal is like sort of all he's got. And believe it or not, Uros Medic was a lightweight when he joined the UFC until one body shot off of Jalen Turner. He loses his undefeated record, folds immediately, gets rear naked choked, and says, I'm going up to welterweight, and 3 first-round KOs, he's doing great work. But let's talk about another loss of Uros Medic, and that is thy king, Miktibek Oralbai. He can't really grapple. I mean, Oralbai is a demon when it comes to chain wrestling, mat returns, takedowns, suffocating grappling, so Uros Medic lasted really as long as he could, but couldn't knock out Oralbai. Got knocked out brutally by Punahele Soriano. If you guys don't know, Punahele, he knocked Medic out with one punch and sent him flying across the apex cage. So D-Rod's live for a knockout, but you're sort of trolling if you pick him here. I would love to for the storyline, for the upset energy, but you gotta go with Medic. The hand speed diff here is going to be crazy. Daniel Rodriguez is very good against non-dangerous, non-serious opponents, like a Kevin Holland who is Deadpool maxing, just goofing off, or like Ponzinibbio, complete unk, body shot, Alex Morono, split decision against Alex Morono, really? But guys, this is sort of what makes D-Rod a little bit of a wild card here that has me worried. His losses aren't really that bad. The indestructible doughboy Kelvin Gastelum, not really a loss. Kelvin low-key robbed him, showed up overweight, actually lost on significant strikes. D-Rod landed 127 significant strikes and he lost that fight. Bullshit. Ian Garry, head kick win. I really don't mind it. It was super early into the fight. D-Rod sort of needs to get into like an unk flow state to get going. Garry catches him with a head kick, man. It is what it is. He could catch Makhachev with the same kick. Who knows? And Neil Magny, he was much like Mike Malott. He was winning the fight, and then, of course, the aura of Neil Magny leads his opponent to throw the fight in the 3rd round. Mike Malott does it. Jake Matthews does it. Daniel Rodriguez is no exception, okay? He literally has top position on the ground and stands up for no fucking reason. So, throws the fight with Neil Magny. I'm going Uros Medic by knockout. Big shocker. I don't think D-Rod is going to be new and improved out of prison. He said his 17-year-old son was taking him down and out wrestling him. He said that on the Dominic Cruz podcast. Uros Medic is going to cook. Full confidence pick. I love D-Rod, man, but he is a slow starter. He's unk. He can sometimes get into like a decent little flow state, but it takes a round or two. I'm going with Uros Medic by KO, and then we get him some big matchups. Then we get him the Sean Brady's, the Mike Malott, Joaquin Buckley winner that is announced, main event for Canada. Top 10 welterweights in Uros Medic's future. The Doctor, the Alaskan Bullworm by KO. Short notice, light heavyweight banger alert. Jan Blachowicz taking on Navajo Sterling, man. We've been keeping an eye on Navajo Sterling's career. They've been building this dude up the right way. You go Contender Series, you go Apex, you go Fight Night, and then you move him on up. And look, Navajo's been getting unanimous decisions. He's been really showcasing a CKB skill set. Pop the jab, move, low kick, cerebral striking. Now he's getting the KOs. He has a smart manager. They built him right. I'm a huge fan. But Jan Blachowicz is still an underrated technical mastermind. Still, even like, I want to say 14 years into the UFC now, I know he got absolutely buried by the meta rankings because it's true. He hasn't collected a legit win since defeating Israel Adesanya. You know, Alexander Rakic blew his leg out. Like, Jan has had 3 losses and 2 draws in the past 5 years. Dude, I'm having withdrawals when I think about Jan Blachowicz. I want a classic, like, left hook KO on Luke Rockhold. Like, those were the days of Jan Blachowicz. So, as a Jan Blachowicz enjoyer, I keep it real on his career. You know, look, Jan has a volume issue. You know, these young whippersnappers are getting ahead on strikes and outpointing him. It's cringe. However, guys, are we for real? Navajo Sterling minus 300 over Jan Blachowicz. That is absolute gambling propaganda. That's troll. I will not fall for that. So I know Navajo Sterling just looks like the white Israel Adesanya, but he doesn't exactly fight like him. He doesn't have the footwork and agility of a prime Izzy. He doesn't have the like the guaranteed knockout left hook of a Carlos Ulberg. He's somewhere in the middle. He's very technical. I like his counter grappling. He has a strong clinch. And he has, you know, the striking wizard Eugene Behrman coaching him. So I think he's somewhere in the middle. He doesn't have a whole lot of pro fights just yet. Trust me, guys, this is the Jan Blachowicz get back that we've been waiting for. Gimme Jan Blachowicz by decision. In Navajo's last fight, he took on Iwan Kutelaba, and look, I know Iwan the Hulk has sort of like a hardcore niche fan base, but he's garbage, okay? He's a round one merchant. I still love Navajo, man, though. He has such a good Muay Thai clinch. He counter grapples really well. That's something that the CKB guys don't really get a lot of credit for. Like Prime, Izzy, Carlos Ulberg, they're very good at counter grappling for the most part, blended with their Muay Thai. It's beautiful stuff. So Navajo very kick heavy, but I think Jan Blachowicz is just that grizzled unk who can make him like back down from exchanges, and he won't gas out like E1. Like Navajo, he only really got that nasty body shot TKO because Kutelaba's gas tank is shit. Jan's always had good cardio, man. Unless it's at like high elevation or a 5-rounder against like a mutant like Ankalaev, who just did unspeakable things to my Guskov. Jan's gonna win this fight. Okay, Navajo is... I know Jan isn't in prime anymore. I'm sorry. Navajo Sterling is not that much of a test for Jan. Alexander Rakic, you goddamn genius, moving up to the heavyweight division to farm 100k performance bonuses against fatties. Give it up. Give it up for Alexander Rakic, you guys. Marcin Tybura, who is a savvy veteran, you guys. He's a real trickster out there. Yeah, he is stuck in the mud. He doesn't move right, even for a heavyweight. Marcin Tybura, over 40 years old, is going to get KO'd by Alexander Rakic, and Rakic's chin is questionable. He was KO'd by a jab off of Azamat Mirzakhanov. That is sus. But just look at this man's stats. High accuracy, high cardio. Everything is looking good from Rakic, man. He is such a skilled and dynamic fighter. The only thing holding him back is his chin and injuries, man. I love Rakic, man, and that Yuri fight was the crossroads, right? And he sort of did fumble the KO. He got bamboozled by samurai awesomeness off of Yuri Prochazka. Because if he KO'd Yuri, then we're talking title eliminator for Rakic. He's right up there, gunning for the 205-pound title, but man, has he fallen. He's had injuries. That knockout to Mirzakhanov was brutal. He moves up to the heavyweight division. I hope he can have success. He's obviously going to beat TYBURA, who's stuck on half speed. Nothing against him, it's heavyweight. TYBURA's technical, man, but you're not fighting Mick Parkin here. You're fighting a savage in Rakic, in his hometown of Serbia, by the way. This is looking like a first-round knockout for Rakic. I know it's been a while since we've seen it. Look, Rakic, he's a hard guy to trust these days. I mean, 4-fight losing streak, but again, look at who they're against. Jan Blachowicz, Yuri, Magomed Ankalaev, and then Mirzakhanov. So we're going to forgive him here. He's obviously going to cook TYBURA. 2 lightweight striking maestros up next. We got Ludovic Klein, Mr. Highlight, against Tafik Musayev. Man, he's disgusting. Look at him. He looks evil here. He is a dirty cheat. A lot of cage grabs. Last time out against Bahamondes, I picked him to beat Bahamondes, but we are absolutely fading him here. I wasn't a fan of how he really dealt with Bahamondes. In all honesty, he barely won. He got hit a lot. He got stung up a lot, and if Bahamondes is teeing off on you, Ludovic Klein will be able to do the same. Klein is like the king of just underneath the lightweight rankings. Like, Ludovic Klein is the ultimate top 20 lightweight. Like, he beat Mason Jones on Jones's first stint, like beat Mateusz Rebecki, gritted through a nasty leg injury, had a gruesome fight of the night. That was awesome. So Klein is very, very good when he's not up against a grappler. You know, Gamer Nation, my Gamrot, took Klein to school and really ragdolled him. That was a great Gamrot win. Klein really got showed that sort of next level grappler at lightweight and wasn't able to crack into the rankings, but here he is back on the slow build against Musayev. Gimme Klein by unanimous decision. Tafik is tough, he's dirty, he switches stances, he's got good Muay Thai, but his record isn't the best. You know, he's done a lot of smurfing in Ryzen, against low-level opposition, KLEIN is too big of a step up. KLEIN's been here a long time and has way too much finesse for him. So I'm going to go Ludovic KLEIN by decision. My boy, Mark VOLOGDIN is back. Most entertaining fight in Dana White Contender Series history. Gets a contract on a loss for being a dog, for being a warrior. Mark VOLOGDIN throws more rolling thunders than he does jabs. Still looking for that first UFC win. Went to war with Adrian Luna Martinetti. Martinetti's lost to Davey Grant. Now it's time for Mark VOLOGDIN to start climbing these bantamweight rankings. Okay, I don't care that he's fighting the Brave FC bantamweight champion in his debut. He's going to win anyway. I love me some VOLOGDIN. All hail Mark VOLOGDIN. Tough as nails, unfinishable tank. He stands 5'4" with a 60-inch reach. I don't care. Like, VOLOGDIN is going places, man. He might be the toughest fighter at bantamweight. He had a crater in his forehead in that fight and still just operated at such a crazy pace. I have to trust in that. Is he sloppy? Does he get clipped at times? Yes. He's outranged. He's really, really tiny. He has more of a flyweight physique, but the dude just pushes and pushes and grinds away at you. I'm going Mark VOLOGDIN against Borislav Nikolic. I don't care if you're the Brave FC champion. You've got a Terminator to deal with in VOLOGDIN. So I'll see you boys on the other side. I'm going VOLOGDIN by decision, putting this guy through a crazy war that he's never been in before. He's coming off the regional scene. VOLOGDIN's a fucking gangster. I'm never picking against him. Yet another blood and guts brawler here. My guy, Mateusz Rebecki, the punch magnet, going against Canadian Kyle PREPOLEC. Killshot Kyle PREPOLEC. God, we have no prospects, do we? I'm going Rebecki, man. There's a chance Kyle PREPOLEC lands up like a crafty unk straight right and sits down Rebecki, but Rebecki's been through so many wars. I literally think he's Wolverine. Like the wars with Chris Duncan. This man has a win over Miktibek Oralbai, okay? He defended the takedowns, he pulled Oralbai into a war, and he won it, okay? They inflicted irreparable brain damage on each other, man. You have to be good to do that to Oralbai. I don't care what anyone says, Rebecki is good. I will continue to pick him and have him lose every time. I don't care. I like Rebecki. He's got Polish power. I think Rebecki will actually use takedowns and get a submission in this fight. PREPOLEC is unk. He's got good kickboxing. He's okay, but still doesn't have a UFC win. He was given a contract off of coming in on short notice to basically be a body for Benoit Saint Denis to destroy, and that's exactly what happened. So I think something similar here will happen with Rebecki, who is just dumb. He's just a dumb brawler, but like he clearly has skill and he clearly has the ability to beat unranked lightweights. So I'm gonna go Rebecki again. He's gonna lose again. I'm gonna get super salty about it. We're going Rebecki by submission. The wannabe Viking, Robert Valentin, son of Odin. Now here's my take on Robert Valentin, you guys. I was such a massive fan after watching his brutal elbow knockout on The Ultimate Fighter, where he basically decapitated a man. And I thought this dude was going to be a problem. You know, he's big, he's long and rangy, he's got a violent style. And then he has no manager. Matchmaking does him dirty. He fights Ateba Gautier, lands 0 strikes, gets chewed up and spat out, and then he gets out-wrestled and laid on. So the start of his career was horrible, but he didn't get cut, and he's slowly rebuilding. So submission over a Canadian last time out. Loose cannon, you know, unpredictable career. I'll do what I can on picking this man's fights, but he is a wild boy, okay? He's crazy. He's got technical ability in the kickboxing, and luckily for him, he's up against an NPC, a non-opponent. Dusko Todorovic, I feel like isn't even real, man. We see him so little. Robert Valentin is going to destroy Earthworm Jim over here. So gimme Robert Valentin, Robzilla, by one of his patented sneaky submissions. I know he looks like an absolute demon Viking psychopath, but he has more submissions than knockouts. He's got long arms. He loves his rear naked chokes, his back takes. He's got arm bars. He's got guillotines. I trust Robert Valentin to snatch a sub against Todorovic. The debut of Milos Janicic. This dude is a psychopath, okay? If you don't know, you may have caught his fight on Dirty Boxing. He's kind of just... This is the thing, man. He, first of all wins in MMA by finish. And honestly, I'm just so excited to see if he's the real deal because he just fights all over the world on these regional shows. And it's so hard to gauge if he's like just sort of smurfing against cans or if he's actually world class because he has nasty knockouts, he has nasty submissions. Milos Janicic, there's actually lots of footage on him. You can watch him fight on the Dirty Boxing, Octagon, MMA out of the Czech Republic. Like, dude's just a savage. He's just globe-trotting, whooping ass. I'll be picking him to win by TKO. Up next, we got Michael Oliveira, Oban Elliott, dude. Who is managing the career of Oban Elliott? This is career suicide. Why are you fighting a new welterweight mutant just spawned? Like, literally, this is just Michael Morales' Brazil version. Gigantic welterweight powerhouse, Michael Oliveira out of Brazil, undefeated, 9-0. I know he calls himself the Welsh gangster, but he's going to look puny against this Michael Oliveira dude. Just a gigantic Brazilian Giga Chad. I don't feel good picking Oban Elliott again. I picked him to beat. I can't go with Oban Elliott anymore, man. We picked him against Jonathan Mikulev. It was a close fight, but he got choked unconscious and super giga cope after the fight, complaining about how he couldn't see. Like, come on, man. Keep that to yourself. I'm not trying to hear it. Take accountability for that shit. You lost fair and square. The pick is Michael Oliveira by first round KO. Oban Elliott's going to come out, shoot for his takedowns. He's just not going to get them, and then he's going to panic and get KO'd. That's how I see this fight going. Michael Oliveira will have an easy time getting Oban Elliott off of him, trapping him on the fence, and just bombing him out. It's as simple as that. Denis BUZUKJA, Bogdan Grad. Loserville, no. Denis BUZUKJA sort of only signed to the UFC because he's Aljo's friend, in all honesty. Kind of shocking how long his contract is, if we're being real. He's too basic. Victim aura, he doesn't get respect on the feet. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was sort of fed to like the murderer's row at featherweight. Not really, like I'm being so gentle with him. He fought Melsik Bagdasaryan, who's beatable. Sean Woodson, okay, he's a freak show. You're a crazy outranged, massive weight bully freak. Jamal Emmers KO'd in round 1. And then only win in the UFC is Connor Matthews, who's long gone and out of here. And last time out, he got KO'd so badly by Marcio Barbosa back in April. I think Bogdan Grad can lock in and sort of replicate that, man. I'm going to go Bogdan Grad by KO. Grad is actually crazy technical, man. I know he lost to Luke Riley badly. Riley has really good speed, and look, he caught him with a perfect punch, dude, but he has a good unanimous decision loss to Muhammad Naimov. Naimov's pretty good, man. I like Naimov in the featherweight division. He's also a filthy, cheating scumbag, but to be able to go 15 hard minutes with him is a good look. And he got knocked out by Tom Nolan on the Contender Series. Tom Nolan is a gigantic lightweight, so again, forgivable. We're going to give Bogdan Grad one more chance. Both these guys are on losing streaks. Like I said, Loserville here. I'm going to go Bogdan Grad, probably by TKO over Denis BUZUKJA. Up next, we got Alexander Poppeck versus Jovan Leka. Poppeck lost to Jamal Hill. He got KO'd on the Contender Series many moons ago. That was in like one of the first seasons of Contender Series. Really, really bad loss. Jamal Hill, really. But you know what? Forgivable. He's been smashing up roid monsters in Octagon MMA. He has improved, but Jovan Leka, I know he looks like the blobweight champion. He's 24 years old. He is extremely good at MMA. He's very, very well-rounded. We'll call him big-boned. I won't call him the blobweight champion. He actually won his Dana White Contender Series fight against an absolute mutant out of Uzbekistan, this Azamat Nurifili-Faliev, 14-2 record, so he beat a really good guy already. Whereas Alexander Poppeck, we saw his level, right, losing to Jamal Hill. So just based off of that, I'm going to go with Jovan Leka. It's a close fight. We'll see how the two of them match up size-wise. It seems like they should be in two completely different divisions. Jovan Leka, I think he's ready. He's just one of these guys. He's on the underground, okay? Nobody knows him, but he's low-key the number 5 pro heavyweight out of Europe, says Tapology. Just like, there's these guys floating around, okay? They're not about the glitz and the glamour and like the fighter lifestyle, you know, the fame, but they are absolute savages, just like skulking around on the regional scene. Jovan Leka is one of these guys. He's going to absolutely cook, and he's from Serbia, right at home. He's going to get a TKO over Alexander Poppek. We got Stephanie Luciano back in the cage. Dynamite, super cute, very fun, striking style, pure striker. Doesn't really like grappling. Has a loss to Sam Hughes. Red flag, terrible. But she'll improve. She's young. She's very, very scrappy. She beat Talita Alencar, who's sort of like a little grappling granny. She is up against a muscle mommy, this Marina SPASIC out of Serbia. So she's fighting a regional gal who is sort of known for the knockout. I don't think Luciano's getting knocked out here. I think she's highly technical. She is really, really green in her career. I think a split decision loss to Sam Hughes is okay. She's going to improve. She had a submission in her last fight. She's had some canceled bouts. She's supposed to get in there with Alexia Thainara, dodged a bullet there. Thainara is low-key a beast. She's like the female Marab, so absolutely pull out of that fight. Now she's fighting a Serbian girl. I have no reason to trust Serbian talent just yet. Let's have a good look at what their regional prospects are all about. I'm going to go Stephanie Luciano. She has her feet set in the UFC. She knows what she's doing in the striking. She's highly mobile. She's scrappy. She just doesn't like grappling, but don't think this girl is going to put on a wrestling clinic. So give me Stephanie Luciano by decision. Vlasto CEPO against Gilbert Urbina. Urbina is a very, very tall welterweight with horrendous defense. He's also permabaked. He's a big pothead, the RGV bad boy. Cannot be trusted. Tough merchant, straight off the Ultimate Fighter, bottom feeder at this welterweight division. I don't know much about Vlasto CEPO. Saw some of his regional fights. Heavily, heavily muscled. Could be a round one or bust type of fighter here in the UFC. Lots of knockouts, can crushing. We'll see how it goes, but Gilbert Urbina, a lot of tall man defense. I mean, I'm convinced he's just a free win at this point, but then again, he did drop Uros Medic in the first round, so take your pick. I'm going to go with Vlasto CEPO. I believe he's Serbian. Real big power fluke artist here against someone who is quite chinny and has that sort of lean back tall man defense in Gilbert Urbina. I'm going Vlasto by KO here. Opening prelim, we got the eye candy Hailey Cowan against this absolute violence queen, Nina Milosevic. This chick, I've seen some regional tape, and she's packing power, all right? Definitely enough power to knock out Hailey Cowan, who was knocked out so brutally her last fight. Alice Pereira gave us sweet chin music, hit her with the tip of the knee right on the chin, knocks out Hailey Cowan. That's a horrible loss to take in women's MMA. I'm sorry. Hailey Cowan, already inactive, already sort of an unserious career. I'm going to go with this Serbian gal. She has a massive amateur career. She's only lost by split decision. Hailey Cowan, you are being sacrificed. Get out while you still can. You will be knocked out in this fight. And that is UFC Serbia. Hope it's a great event. Uros Medic, man. The violent Ian Garry. I'm serious, by the way. All the talk of the town right now is Ian Garry rage-baiting everyone with his brainwashing wife. They are both absolutely insufferable. I can't wait to make videos on them. But right now, we bask in violence and chaos because Uros Medic has such a kamikaze fucking style. Like, dude, he just literally goes for the KO from round one. He either gets knocked out early or he chins you brutally. He's asked to fight Carlos Prates. That's how I know this man is sick in the head, and I love it. Uros Medic, I'm sorry, D-Rod. He's going to knock you out. D-Rod, I love him. D-Rod, hopefully he sticks around for a long time. I don't really see that. I see D-Rod sort of dipping out of the UFC pretty quick here. And like going to karate combat or like dirty boxing or like bare knuckle, like I'm sorry, D-Rod, he's technical, but he's clearly not good enough to like hang with the next generation welterweights. It's so unlucky because if D-Rod got to the UFC when he was in his early 20s, he probably would have like had a longer career and been in the rankings, but This is welterweight's just murderer's romance. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.